What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Nick doomed proposal and Ridge race. There are some unexpected turns in the Bold and the Beautiful. To try to stop Brooke Logan, Ridge Forrester. Additionally, Nick Marone's proposal for water is doomed. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. The decision of Brooke Logan. Brooke told Ridge how much she was hurting from being with him in Italy and opened up to him. Ridge insisted that she stay rather than allowing her to leave. Then Eric Forrester followed suit. Brooke is sick and tired of being Ridge's romantic yo-yo, despite their pleas. As a result, she stormed off and joined Nick. Brooke also appeared to walk away without looking back. Despite Brooke's sadness, she is aware that she deserves more than being a backup girl. Ridge Forrester's mission of rescue. At some point, Brooke falls into the water. Considering the preview clip, Brooke might not want to lie on top of a speeding boat again. Ridge is on his way to stop the proposal. It would appear that Ridge arrives to save Brooke from drowning, but does this guarantee that she will reconsider? Confrontation with John Finnegan. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that John Finnegan will have a tense conversation with Bridget Forrester. Finn will be determined to confront Grace Buckingham and discover the truth. Grace initially asserts that everyone will only need to wait and be patient. Grace will be busted, however, after Finn does some digging. Grace Buckingham's publicity over at Bill Spencer's mansion. A preview clip shows Finn dragging Grace with him. Finn orders Grace to tell everyone the truth about Liam Spencer's brain cancer. Although it appears too soon for everyone to learn the truth, Liam and Hope Logan appear perplexed and concerned. Additionally, what happens when Bill learns that Grace conned him? The reason is also involved. Grace must have conned everyone about Liam's tumor for some reason because she doesn't appear to be a bad person. There might also be some scenes showing Lee Finnegan taking care of Luna Nozawa. Does Lee really think she can change the young killer? There comes a time in life when people are content with themselves. Meanwhile, soap operas are all about achieving the impossible, so stay tuned. Ridge's race, Grace busted, and Lee's pleading. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal. It shows John Finnegan busting Grace Buckingham. Lee Finnegan issues a plea to Luna Nozawa. Additionally, Nick Marone and Brooke Logan are pursued by Ridge Forrester. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Confrontation with John Finnegan. Let's start with Finn, who has made it a point to learn everything there is to know about Liam Spencer's miracle. Grace is finally confronted by the doctor regarding the secret procedure and Liam's condition. She had already been informed by Finn that he had not been able to locate any information online regarding the enigmatic coworker who operated on Liam. Grace's faking of Liam's brain tumor will be slammed by Finn next. However, when confronted, Grace doesn't apologize or offer to turn herself in. Grace, on the other hand, asks Finn to cover for her, which absolutely astonishes him. Confession of Grace Buckingham forced by others. Liam is still recovering at Bill Spencer's house. Grace and Finn stop by to talk to Liam and Hope Logan. Given that Bill is not present in the room, I suppose he will be the last to learn again. Grace enters the room with Finn, who informs them that she has information regarding Liam's brain cancer. Grace, on the other hand, doesn't exactly appear willing to confess. So, I wonder if she will back out at the last minute or claim not to know what Finn is talking about. The appeal of Lee Finnegan. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that the preview clip also shows Lee with Luna. Luna is urged to hold on by the doctor. However, even if Lee does manage to save Luna from dying, how on earth will she earn redemption? Eric Forrester is warning his son. Ridge hears from the patriarch that Nick wore a ring. Ridge tries to catch up with Nick once he realizes that he will propose to Brooke. By the time Ridge arrives at the harbor, Brooke is already taking off in Nick's boat. As they speed away, Brooke is lying on top of the speedboat. So, I assume that's how she falls into the water. In a whirlwind of drama only the Bold and the Beautiful can deliver, the saga of Brooke Logan, Nick Marone, and Ridge Forrester is racing toward a breathtaking climax, one filled with betrayal, heartache, dangerous waters, and a proposal that may be doomed before the ring even slips from the box. As Ridge sprints against time to stop Nick's impulsive, ill-fated proposal, a parallel storm brews back in Los Angeles, where John Finnegan uncovers a twisted lie that could destroy the Spencer family, a lie orchestrated by none other than Grace Buckingham. A story of rapid desperation, emotional unraveling, and shocking revelations unfolds, pushing each character to the edge of their emotions. Brooke Logan has grown tired of being Ridge Forrester's emotional pendulum swinging back and forth between heartbreaking betrayal and declarations of love. She is emotionally exhausted and deeply conflicted. Italy, supposed to be a backdrop of romance and renewal, has instead become a crucible for Brooke's identity. She told Ridge how awful it was to be around him and always feel second best, and she poured her heart out on him. Brooke had already heard it all when Ridge begged her not to go, insisting that she was still his destiny. Even Eric Forrester chimed in, urging her not to walk away, yet the pleas fell on deaf ears. Brooke needed more than apologies and poetic promises. She needed proof that she wasn't just a placeholder until Ridge changed his mind again. Nick Marone is the wild card, the emotional and literal storm at sea. Nick attracted Brooke to a different kind of attention, excitement rather than stability. Nick, who has always been a rogue sailor, promised adventure and escape, but even adventure requires an anchor. Unbeknownst to Brooke, Nick wasn't just out for a romantic dinner cruise, he was planning to propose. Although Nick's emotional and literal recklessness at the helm of his boat turns the moment from romantic to disastrous, the proposal on the waves of the Mediterranean may appear romantic on the surface. Eric Forrester had caught a glimpse of the engagement ring, and the realization shocked him to his core. Brooke had already left to meet Nick when he rushed to warn her. Ridge was taken aback by Eric's revelation when they got back to the Forrester mansion. Ridge had previously been hesitant about Nick's proposal, but now he couldn't afford to lose Brooke for good. Spurred on by Eric's passionate insistence that Brooke is the love of his life and the woman who truly makes his heart race, Ridge dropped everything and dashed for the marina. Time was not on his side, however. Brooke was already on Nick's fast boat and lying across the deck, clearly caught between her past and uncertain future when Ridge arrived at the harbor. As the waves churned and Nick's steering grew more erratic, disaster loomed. Just as foretold in the week's dramatic preview clip, Brooke lost her balance and toppled overboard. Ridge, breathless and panicked, shouted her name as he dove heroically into the sea, a literal and metaphorical plunge back into Brooke's life. Ridge Forrester was the only one who could carry out this love-driven and desperate rescue. However, the question lingers in the air like mist off the ocean as Ridge pulls her from the water, soaking wet but still alive. Is this rescue too little, too late? While Ridge races through Italy, across the Atlantic in Los Angeles, another race is unfolding, one for truth and justice. Grace Buckingham has increased John Finn Finnegan's skepticism, particularly in light of Liam Spencer's alleged brain tumor and miraculous recovery. Finn couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right despite the fact that Bridget Forrester had assisted with the surgery. When he confronted Grace, she tried to deflect with vague excuses and professional boundaries. But Finn wouldn't let it go, especially when the lives of people he cared about were in jeopardy. Grace's exterior veneer was eventually cracked by Finn's unrelenting pressure. She was quick to realize that Finn was not buying her carefully constructed lies, even though she initially insisted that everything would become clear in due course. Grace confessed, shockingly, that the tumor diagnosis, surgery, and recovery had all been concocted. Worse yet, she had swindled Bill Spencer out of $1 million in the process, playing on his fears and love for his son. Finn was shocked by the information, so he insisted that she accompany him right away to make the confession to Liam and Hope Logan. Grace, perhaps sensing that her career and freedom were slipping away, tried to convince Finn to stay quiet to cover for her. However, Finn, whose moral compass is unwavering, was appalled. His resolve was only bolstered by her request.